Hey friend, welcome back to Mastering Post-Production Sound. My name is Joel. I am a re-recording mixer, sound supervisor, and I've been part of the post-production sound industry for, I think over 17 years now. When I first started in the industry, I was working at a place called The Post Group, and this was in Hollywood, and I worked as a tape vault employee, and I would also drive a truck all around Hollywood. I'd pick up film, things like that. And I'll never forget grinding. Man, I was grinding. And I was on the swing shift from, I'm going to say, 3 o'clock to midnight. And at the time, my wife and I were sharing a car. And remember, I got picked up after my shift. And you might be wondering, what does a person in the tape vault do? Well, this is in a place where they would do telecine, they would do color timing, editing, video stuff, and I used to be in a vault where all the editors would come and grab, hey, can you give me the tape, episode 1020 of Survivor, or no, it wasn't sorry, the race one, right? Greatest Race. I forget the name of the. What am I blanking on the song? The something race, ultimate race, longest race. I forget it. Why am I blanking right now? Hey Siri, what's the name of the show? Yes, The Amazing Race. Okay, The Amazing Race. So an editor would come and say, hey, I need the episode whatever of The Amazing Race, right? And I would give it to them. And so at this place at the time, I remember I was very intent about getting that job and trying to get into the audio department as fast as I can. Now, I'm giving you a little bit of an origins background right here because it's important when I say 17 years in the industry. This marker, I'll never forget this day, like in my life. I'm hustling because I want to do this thing. I want to work in the industry. And that little post house, that little mom and pop post house, there was intention with me getting that job because a fantastic ADR supervisor, sound supervisor, wonderful person named Becky Sullivan, who gave me some time back in the day, said, get a job at a small mom and pop house. And remember, the minute you walk through the door, you're getting paid to learn. The reason was because this little post-production facility, they kind of did everything. It was my real life on-the-job training to kind of understand a lot of what went into creating TV, film, the process. I would go and drive a truck and pick up negative and pick up film from the days shooting, CSI, House, whatever was out there, right, at the time. And I'd have to take that film, it'd come to this place, and they would digitize it, basically. It allowed me to kind of see, what do they do? What do they do? And that was kind of the beginning introduction to this idea of you don't have to do things yourself. There's a whole team. And this particular location had a small little audio department where they mix shows like The Amazing Race. I was fortunate to have the opportunity after a little bit of a probation time to cross-train in a different department. And of course, I had intention and I was going to get into the audio department when I could. I was hustling. I was going to work, swing shift. I was doing my little side projects. I was doing anything I can to build trust. And I found that trust at that little small audio department upstairs. And because I created trust, they started giving me the keys, to the room. And I was able to stay overnight on a Friday night to the next morning. I would sleep in the studio there to do my little short films and whatnot. I'll never forget the night when my wife picked me up. As I'm tired, I'm exhausted, I sat in the car and she had a little gift for me. And that gift, as I opened it up, was a onesie and a pregnancy test. And that was the night I found out I was going to be a dad. My oldest wasn't born until October of that year. I always use that as a marker. My son's 17. He's going to be 18 in the fall. And that marks my journey where I began in this industry. And when I say I've been in the industry for, over 17 years, that's really where it began for me, was at that small little post-production facility. And mind you, I was doing gigs. I was doing every free little thing I could get my hands on. and submit for. Craigslist, Mandy.com at the time, anything you can think of, I was submitting for and hustling. But it was there where I really got a grasp of the whole overall process. And then it was because of those relationships that I established there that created opportunity for me to then move into a full-on audio post house where they needed a mix tech. And I didn't know what a mix tech was at the time, right? But I knew that they needed somebody to be a recordist to help set up the sessions, do audio laybacks when we were doing, laybacks of audio to tape, things like that. I just need you to know, friend, if you find yourself in that position of like, hey, I want to do this, but I don't know what I'm doing, I want you to know you're in good company. I didn't go to school to figure all this stuff out. But along the way, I found people that gave me just enough time to then figure it out. But the biggest overall quality that I had going for myself that I always tell my one-on-one coaching clients and people who maybe come by the mix stage is that you need to have curiosity. Curiosity is what leads to growth. I didn't learn Pro Tools like in audio school or anything. I was a musician. I went to school to get my degree in music, but because I didn't want to pay somebody to mix my scores, because I got into scoring music, I learned how to mix myself. And I spent so much time, hours and hours and hours and hours and hours going through Pro Tools, trying to figure it out, and it sparked a whole nother level of growth when it came to post-production sound for audio, or rather post-production sound for TV and film. And so I tell you all this because I know that there's somebody watching right now who might really love the movies and want to do something with TV and film. And I want you to not be discouraged because not everybody goes to audio school. I didn't. My good friend and longtime, mix collaborator, that's not a word, collaborator, Jeffrey J. Haboosh, he didn't go to school for audio either. It's not just about learning all the things, because so much goes into building a career in this industry. Yeah, you got to know. If you want to be working in this town, you got to know how to edit, you got to know how to mix, you got to know how to do the technical things. And that curiosity phase, I hope it never goes away from you, because we always got to be curious. Even, 17, years into this industry, I'm still learning all the time. And that's the great thing about what we do, as far as mixing goes. Mixing is so subjective. There's not this one way to go about it. There's many ways. And so I share this story about kind of like my origins to encourage you that if you have a dream to be doing this at the highest level, I want you to lean into that. I want you to ignore all the voices that are telling you that you can't do this, or maybe you shouldn't. Because at the time of this video, the industry is trying to figure itself out. And I'm sure a lot of you have heard, hey, Hollywood's dead, don't do this, AI is going to replace everything. But I'm still telling you, friend, I do believe with all my heart there's still room for people who want to do this. And honestly, the art of it, because it is an art, my friend, mixing is an art form, and it is a collaboration with filmmakers. I don't think that's going to go away, at least not for a very, very, very long time. So I want you to listen to that voice. And if you're curious and you want to know more and go deeper, check out the videos that I've put here on this channel. Some of them are technical. A lot of them are a holistic approach to the industry. But friend, I just want you to know that I believe in you. I believe in you. I'm rooting for you. In a world where a lot is going on right now, I hope that you can find in this space that somebody is cheering you on. I believe in your dreams. And it is possible. Now, everything takes work. And this industry is not a get-rich-quick, overnight success kind of industry. You got to put your time in. You really do. You got to understand, you got to persevere. And if you have that desire and you're willing to put the time in, then friend, I'm going to tell you, you can have a wonderful career in this industry. So I'm grateful you're here today. Thank you for taking a moment to just kind of remember with me and to kind of share a little bit of like, those beginning stages for me. Because every time I say, I've been part of the industry for 17 years, I always go back to like, that's how I started. I started in the vault, and I learned and I stayed curious and I asked questions and I made mistakes. But those mistakes became part of who I am today, the growth. So, friend, thanks for being here today. And if you're new here, please consider subscribing to the channel. There's so many new folks that are coming by. And I just encourage you to just click subscribe. It helps me. It helps the YouTube algorithm. And if you're ready to learn some more, friend, meet me over here on the side in this video, or I'll see you in next week's.